Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Angry14 here, and today I am I'm doing the RevLimiter on Avengers Endgame. Oh man, oh man. And typical RevLimiter fashion, the first couple minutes is going to be spoiler free, just to, if y'all don't want to hear me spoil the whole movie, because I have notes this time. I have notes, so I will be actually competent in what I'm saying. So let's just go right into it, man. No dilly dallying this time. The movie is very good. It's really just like when you stop and think about it, how it's been building up, everything that's been leading up to this. It's one of the most interesting phenomena and like modern film, modern media, modern entertainment. Nothing has really done this, and it's just so cool to see this all just happen in my lifetime. I remember Iron Man coming out when I was like in 5th grade, 4th grade, and this is my 3rd year of college. So like it's been there forever. And also like I don't even care about the race. Like I remember seeing the Avengers when I had just graduated 8th grade. Like it was literally the day after, and I remember all my friends. We were like, I saw a lot of people that I knew at the theater. I was like, oh shit, how's it going? And it's like, oh, this Avengers movie is gonna be crazy. I was like, yeah, I know, right? Like that's so crazy to think about. Like the first Avengers movie was just like a phenomenon. Like everyone's like, holy shit, like what, the Avengers? That's real. And now we have this beautiful movie that just ties everything together, finishes the saga that they've been building for over a decade. It's really like, it's just amazing, like the amount of work that's been put into this. Like not even thinking about the movie, but just the persistence and the continuity that these directors and these all the people that have to make the movie, they've shown just incredible grit and passion. And money talks, so these things make a lot of money, and as you can see, it's already broken pretty much every record for an opening day. But that was always going to be the case with the new Marvel movie. So spoiler free review, TLDR, go see the movie. It's really good. I think you will not be disappointed. If I had to make one suggestion for how you view the movie, because it is a very long movie, 3 hours, just about as long as The Hateful Eight, which people are all like, oh my god, this movie's 3 hours. It's like, dude, The Hateful Eight was 3 hours. Like, I remember seeing that movie and I loved it too. Tarantino makes really good long movies, so I'm pretty used to sitting for a while and being a lazy fuck. But don't you should pee before the movie, even if you don't think you have to. Just get it all out, empty that bladder. And if you can avoid going number 2, that'd be very nice as well, because yeah, you don't want to do that during this movie. There's not a lot of parts where you can pee. Like there's on Twitter, they're like, oh, you can pee during these parts, but it's like the other one, like if you gotta do something else besides peeing and blowing your nose, it ain't gonna happen, Captain. You're gonna miss out on some shit. And that's coming from a guy who loves to listen to the nitty gritty details. Like I pay attention when I'm going to the movies. Like I listen to every single line, because if it wasn't important, they wouldn't have said it. And that's my opinion. But yeah, that's the spoiler review. Go see it. Go love it. It's worth your time. If you can pay for the extra IMAX, whatever, XD, yeah, I would so recommend that one, because it's just really good, and with a good movie. I saw it twice. One in XD, which is like the THX one, and it was really phenomenal. And then the second time I saw it, it was just a regular theater, and it was a really small one, and the XD was a really big theater. So there was a big difference, at least in my viewing, because of the audio and because of the screen. The first screen was huge, just beautiful. Like your eyes were just everywhere, darting around, and I like that, especially in these action movies where it's like everything's happening at once. And on the smaller screen, I felt a little bit more contained, and I didn't really like it. Also, the sound installation wasn't that good. I could hear people talking outside of the theater, which was kind of like shitty. But I was sitting all the way at the backs this time, and then the XD theater I was kind of in the middle, pretty perfect spots. But yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Now let's get into the spoilers. Oh shit. So I'm gonna go chronologically. I wrote some notes down that I enjoy, or at least talking points that I want to talk about. And the first one that I want to mention is that this is a proper comic book movie. Like this out of any single movie that I've seen, and anywhere, perhaps besides Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, in terms of live action, this is the one where it feels most like I'm reading an actual comic book on a screen. Like, it is incredible the way that they can do, like, they can personify these things that you see in comics so often, and it's just like you put them in the big screen and they just translate so well. And I really applaud the directors for doing that. The Russos just fucking knocked it out of the park with the way that they directed this movie, the way that it feels, the way that it moves, like the way that everything looks. It's just incredible. And of course, the trailers did an awesome job of, you know, hiding what the real plot was. You know, at first I was like, oh shit, they're gonna go get Thanos. He's got the stone still. Not so much. Like the first 20 minutes, everyone's kind of like, you know, sad, and they go and they go find Thanos because he used the stones again. They found on the radar or whatever, like a massive energy spike in some cool planet with a bunch of guavas that he was cooking up, and they all show up. Captain Marvel's OP. She gets him in the chokehold, and then like Thor cuts off his hand. He's like, I was like, oh shit, what? And also he looks really like beat up, Thanos. I was like, what's going on here? And then we find out that he used the stones to destroy the stones. And then at that point I was like, no way. Like, what? How are you gonna do that? Like, that's fucking crazy, dude. But like, it makes sense if you think about Thanos, because that's all he wanted to do. He just wanted to fix what was wrong. And he said that beyond that, it was just temptation. Which, I mean, what a fucking villain, dude. Like, this is such a like such a crazy written character, you know. Like, one track minded. He did what he had to do, and then he just got rid of it and just wanted to live a life of a farmer. Also, he said that it was such a strain for the stones to kill themselves that it almost killed Thanos as well. So that's why he was all mangled up. And everyone's like, "No, you're lying, you're lying." And then Nebula's like, "No, my father," or as she talks, "My father doesn't lie." And then Thanos is like, "Ah, daughter." Ooh. Then Thor cuts off his freaking head, and I was like literally the first time we went to the theater, it was like with a bunch of like super fans and everything. So everyone's like, "What?" Like, oh my god! Everyone was like, "What the fuck just happened? This is like 20 minutes in." And then yeah, they do a time skip, 5 years in the future, and everyone's just kind of like, that nothing changed. Like, they killed Thanos, but it didn't help. You know. Like, it's pretty crazy. So they get the idea to go back in time because Scott Lang just came out of the quantum realm. Then he decided to go, you know, take a gander at the Avengers headquarters. And I really was like this is like one of those coincidences that it can only be in like comic book movies where like a rat just touches like a little iPad and then it brings Scott Lang back from the quantum realm. Because it's like how was he gonna get back? Because in Ant-Man and Wasp, you see that that when he was in the quantum realm, like Dr. Pym or Professor Pym and Hope, they just got dusted. So it's like, oh shit, he's stuck. And he was there for 5 years, but to him it felt like 5 hours. He's very hungry. He eats Black Widow sandwich, and they think he starts like brainstorming that they can go back in time. So who did they go see? Motherfucking Tony Stark. And this guy has a cute little daughter, and he's married to Pepper, or at least, I don't know, married, but they're together. They have their family. They have a nice log cabin by a river. It's fucking beautiful. And I love just seeing that, because it's like, wow, he finally got what he deserved. Like a family. And in Infinity War, he's like, I had a dream where we had like a family. And then Pepper's like, no, and it happened. This guy is the master of dreams, dude. Like everything he dreams is literally comes true. Like even in fucking Ultron, where he dreams about like the destruction of Earth, it happened. So this kid, smartest man in history, at least in the Marvel universe. They're like, hey man, we need you to help us make time travel. Basically says fuck off. I expected as much for him, you know. He's got a family. He doesn't need anything else. He's accepted the fact that Thanos won, while everyone else is just kind of like, we need to, you know, get him. He says, go home, get away. We're gonna have dinner. The table only seats 6. There were 7 of them. So I was like, oh shit, smart guy. So who do they go see besides him? That also very smart? Bruce Banner. And in this movie, he's fucking Professor Hulk, dude. I was like they did. I thought it was gonna be like a dramatic moment where like Bruce Banner's like, oh no, and like he like hulks out, but literally they show him they're like eating at a Denny's, and he's got like a fucking bowl of eggs, like 3 gallons worth of eggs. I was like, what? And then these kids show up, and they're like, can we get a picture? And then this guy's like dabbing. I'm like, what? What's going on? Like Hulk dabs? Anyway, it was really funny. I enjoyed it a lot. I kind of figured that they would bring Professor Hulk, but the way that they did it, it was just so like anticlimactic. Like I was expecting a bunch of fanfare and like a lot of banter and stuff, pomp and circumstance for the moment, but there was not much, which was kind of cool. It was just like, yep, here he is. Look at him. Yep, it's huge. He's got glasses on and a shirt. You know, he's got clothes. No shoes though. He had some more shoes. I guess I don't know. Probably doesn't make size big enough for him. So he's like, I don't know. I'm a gamma ray scientist or whatever. I don't know shit about time travel or, you know, pin particles. So Tony Stark's just kind of randomly doing it. He just runs a simulation, changes a couple things, and boom, he did it. And he's like, check. Then he tells Pepper like, what you reading? She's like, compost. And he's just like cuts her off like, I did it. Like he discovers how to time travel. And they go to all the old movies, which is really fucking cool. I loved when they went to like, you know, the first Avengers movie. They went to like, I think the second Thor movie. Where else did they go? First Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And basically they created a new timeline, because the way that the universe works is when you go back in time, you start a new timeline, because you can't change the old timeline, because that's the new timeline now. So yeah, kind of confusing. What you get is the new Thanos being like, what's going on over here? Because they receive that Thanos' nebula received the transmission of the new nebula, because they're like linked with the same fucking Bluetooth or whatever. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus, I'm sorry. Anyways, we'll keep going here. So they do all this stuff, and it's pretty awesome. Thanos is like, oh shit, I do get the stones. I do win, because he obviously sees you know, that they're doing it, and the nebulous transmissions are like, oh, we gotta go get the stones again so he can like reverse time. So he's like, I'm gonna just get these stones because fuck it, you know, which pretty smart, if I do say so myself. What else has happened? This Thanos, compared to the other Thanos, I feel like it was very, like, this was a proper villain this time. The previous Thanos in Infinity War was kind of like almost like he was almost like an anti-hero. You could see him, like, because you could understand his motives, you know, like he's like, I just want to fix the universe. I don't care what it takes. I've seen what happens. Like, you're like, huh, maybe he's got a point there, you know. It's kind of fucking everything up here. But this time he's very much more villain like. He doesn't have any compassion. Well, he never did, but this time he's way more scarier. Just because he's got a huge sword. Like a really, really big double-edged sword. Or double-sided sword? Yeah, double-sided sword. Double-sided, double-edged sword. Jeez, I'm fucking this race up. What else? They okay, so basically, new Nebula from is like they find and trap old Nebula, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna put you Nebula, the new Nebula, as and pretend like you're old Nebula. Oh Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! Holy moco! Holy mackerel! And then they do, and then they don't suspect a thing. You know, everyone's like, oh shit, we did it. And Hawkeye comes back from the Vormir part of the story, and he doesn't come back with Natasha. He went with Natasha, and as you know, Vormir requires a soul for the Soul Stone. So Natasha sacrifices her life, but it was pretty cool. Like, they were both fighting to basically have the right to see who would kill themselves for the Soul Stone, because they both wanted to, you know, they both wanted to help succeed, whatever it takes, you know. That's what they said, and they both were willing to do it, and they both fought over who was gonna do it, and eventually Natasha was just like they were hanging over the cliff, and she's like, just let me go, it's okay. And I was like, damn, that's kind of sad, and it's also kind of weird because now it's like she has her own movie coming up, so how? Unless it takes place in the past, but then it's like with these movies that take place in the past, I'm always very weary, because at this point it's like, how does this matter? Like, if we know the outcome, why does it matter? Like, sure, you get a little bit more backstory and everything, but at this point, is it worth it? Like, I know she dies, and you cannot undo this. Like, the fucking Spirit Keeper Red Skull is like this is a undoable act or whatever it is. Like it's a soul for a soul. Like, you cannot, like, once the act is done, it is done. That's why old Gamora doesn't come back either, because they already sacrificed. Thanos sacrificed her for the stone, so like it's over, it's done. Unless they pull some kind of, you know, crazy comic book thing, like they clone her or something. I don't know. That'd be pretty fucked up if they cloned her. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, they get the stones, and then new Nebula's like, oh shit, I'm a bring back the fucking, oh shit, I'm gonna bring the new Thanos' ship, like, through the pin particles, and they do, and like they wait, and they have all the stones, the Avengers do, and then they're like, who's gonna snap? Because they have to snap everybody back into existence. Thor's fat in this movie. Forgot to mention that. It's pretty funny. It's really huge. It's a big boy, big belly. Looks kind of like me. I was like, oh shit, that can be Thor. They're basically like, who's gonna snap? Who's strong enough to take the snap? Because even Thanos was like, I almost died. So Thor wants to do it. Eventually, the Hulk is like, I'll do it. No one else is strong enough. He holds the gauntlet, which is now Iron Man's tech, which is pretty crazy if you think about it, because the old gauntlet had to be forged in the heart of a dying star by a big dwarf, and this time it's just like, yeah, I got some metal together. This shit will hold it, you know, some fucking nanotech. It's like, okay, I guess Tony Stark's like fucking technology can withstand the power of the universe, but that's neither here nor there. It's a comic book movie. So anyway, Thor holds it. He's screaming. Everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? And he snaps. Everyone comes back, but they don't see them immediately. What they do see, however, is fucking Thanos' ship blowing up the whole goddamn Avengers headquarters, like literally, like boom, 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 boom. I was like, they're dead. They're all dead. Like, there's no way they're not. Like, that's crazy. But they somehow, you know, survive as it is customary, and it's very cool. I like seeing the destruction. Thanos comes down. He's like, I bet y'all got my stones. Pretty crazy how this time the Avengers collected the stones, and Thanos is like, like, ah shit, here we go again. And he's about to, you know, go get the stones, but he's like, Nebula, go get me the stones. She's like, old Nebula's going to New Gamora, like, hey sis, we're like actually the friends in my timeline, so can you like be a good sister and help me out? We gotta stop this guy. And New Gamora is like, okay. And what basically ends up happening is they Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man go see Thanos. They're like, we gonna kill you. And fucking Thanos gives like the best line of the whole movie, like, you could not live with your own defeat. And where did that bring you back to me? I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy. That's true though, you know, like, oh, who hit me? Anyway. Then they start fighting. It's that fight is one of my favorite fights ever, dude. When it's just the three of them versus Thanos, because Thanos has this huge fucking what's it called, like the sword, the two-sided sword, and like they just go at him, dude. And also fucking Thor has Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, and like they're just going at it. But Thor's fat, so he's not as strong as he used to be, you know. So he's kind of having a hard time even with both hammers. And so they're all fighting him. Thanos is very strong, even without the Infinity Gauntlet. He's still hella strong, like way stronger than usual. Like I feel like this Thanos is even stronger than the one in Infinity War, because like he just like nothing hurts him. Like even in the Infinity War, at least Tony was able to draw blood from him, but in this one, like nothing. Like it was crazy. What's even crazier is how fucking Thanos is worthy, because you see him fucking, he holds Stormbreaker in his hand for a split second. I was like, no fucking way. Like this dude literally holds Stormbreaker and is about to like he's cutting into fucking Thor with his own axe. I was like, this is crazy, dude. This is too much. And then you see Mjolnir fly, and this is like my favorite part in the whole goddamn Marvel saga of all the MCU movies. You finally see that Captain America is freaking worthy. Like, and he just goes in on Thanos. Like, I don't know how Captain knows how to use Mjolnir so well. Like, he's literally throwing lightning and everything just like Thor. And Thor's like over there laughing like, I knew it. I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like, Cap's over there with double fisting Thanos with his fucking shield and Mjolnir. I was like, dude. But eventually, I mean, Thanos is just so OP in this fucking movie. It's crazy. Like, he knocks over the Mjolnir, and then, like, with his big sword, he literally breaks Captain America's shield, like, which is vibranium. Apparently the strongest stuff in the fucking universe. But I don't know what the hell Thanos' sword is made out of, because it just breaks it. Like, it just ding. Like, it's just, like, cutting it in half, and, like, he just beats up Captain America, and, like, it looks like all hope is lost. Like, the Dark Order comes down, you know, Call Obsidian and all those guys. They don't do much in this movie, unfortunately, but that's okay. They had the other movie to reconcile for that. That was more their movie. And like, Thanos is like, it's not personal. It was never personal, but this time, I'm gonna enjoy doing what I'm gonna do to this planet very much. I was like, oh shit, it's they're gonna lose again. Oh my god. And then what do you see? Or what do you hear? You hear Falcon like, Captain, on your left. And you see like the little Doctor Strange, like the little portal from the sorcerers. And you just see like King T'Challa and his sister and his mom. And they're just like, hello. I was like, oh no, it wasn't his mom. It was who was it? His right hand girl. I forgot her name. But it's like, dude, they're back. And then everyone comes back, and you're like, oh, dude. And then it's just like the fucking coolest thing, dude. Like all the portals opening, you see all the shield ships or whatever they are, and like you see all like the heroes coming back. You know, the Guardians, Spider-Man, all the sorcerers, like Doctor Strange, Wong. You see fucking like Iron Woman, fucking Pepper Potts. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, it's just incredible. That scene was just like, oh man. Thanos is just looking like, what the fuck? And then, you know, what you've been waiting for, 11 years or whatever it is, you hear fucking Captain America go to everybody like, Avengers, assemble, and like they just go, and then you see fucking Thanos just lift up his sword to be like, all right, army, go fuck shit up. Like everyone just goes crazy. I was like, oh my god, like this whole fight scene is just like, the second time I went to see the movie, I was so tired. Like I was literally like kind of like dozing off in like the middle of the movie, but this, you cannot doze off in this part of the movie. Like it's just so fucking epic. Like everything, the music, the fucking cinematography, all the people just going crazy. Everyone, like Thor's throwing lightning bolts, like fucking everyone's doing everything. You know, you have fucking Valkyrie on her Pegasus just fucking shit up with the Dragon Fang. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, dude, this is so crazy. Like, oh man. And then Wanda, fucking Scarlet Witch, comes out of nowhere and just like gets Thanos like, you took everything from me. And then Thanos is like, I don't even know you. So I laughed at that because I was like, good shit, it's true. This Thanos has nothing to do with her. But she's like, you will. And like she's about to kill Thanos because she's like literally like strangling him with her psychic powers. And then he's like, fire the cannons at everywhere from his ship. And they start doing it, and like everything gets fucked up, you know, like the sorcerers have to put up force fields. Like all like Thanos' people are dying because the guns are just shooting everywhere. And then you see like the cannons start shooting at the sky, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And like Iron Man's like, hey, what's happening? To his little Friday robot. And then she's like, oh, something's entered the atmosphere. And you're like, oh shit, it's fucking Captain Marvel. And dude, she comes in and she's so OP, dude. Like she just takes out the ship just by like ramming into it. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like it's like nothing. Like she just kind of does it like nothing. I was like, dude, this is crazy. And they're all trying to still get the gauntlet. That's basically the whole thing. So what you have is everyone just trying to get the gauntlet from Thanos, or the Thanos is trying to get the gauntlet from the Avengers, because everyone's just kind of passing it along. Like first it started with Hawkeye had the gauntlet, and then King T'Challa had the gauntlet, and then Spider-Man had it, and then Valkyrie had it, and then Spider-Man had it with Valkyrie, and then like the cannon started firing, and then Spider-Man gets like into like a little divot in the ground, and he's just like trying to not die, and then what's her name, Captain Marvel was like, hey Peter, I hear you got something for me. He's like, and she gets it. I was, oh, that's this guy. And they do get the thing from him, and it's really cool because you see how truly powerful Captain Marvel is compared to all the other Avengers, which is really just strange to me, especially how she got her powers in the MCU. Like she's basically like the Tesseract basically gave her powers, but the Tesseract is not as powerful as all the other stones put together, which is kind of weird because you see like Thanos headbutts Captain Marvel with everything, and she doesn't even flinch. And I was like, dude, this girl's crazy. But then Thanos gets like, he literally holds the Power Stone in his hand and just punches her like with everything, dude. And she goes flying. I was like, that's more reasonable. Like if you have the Power Stone and you punch somebody, like they better fucking go flying. And but then she like literally holds open the gauntlet. He can't close it, so he can't snap or anything. And then everyone's just going crazy. She gets like punched or whatever, and then Tony starts to go for the gauntlet. He can't. He's no match for Thanos. Thanos is like, I am inevitable. He snaps. Nothing happens. And everyone's like, oh shit, Tony took the stones. And then he's like, I am Iron Man. And then he fucking snaps everything away. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? So he snaps away at Thanos' army and Thanos. And Thanos just kind of sits down, realizes that he's done for, and just turns into dust. I was like, damn, that's crazy. And Like I'm missing so many like crazy parts in the story, but that's just because like you gotta go see it. Like there's too much to talk about. Even this fucking thing is already gone for too long. I'm just like going crazy about the movie. Uh, what was it? What else? Tony dies. And that was too much power. You know, that's why Thor shouldn't have done it either, because he probably would have died too. Only Hulk had the ability to do it. And the what else? Yeah, Tony has a funeral, a whole funeral scene. It's very sad. No funeral for Natasha. Oh well. That's pretty crazy. I mean, everyone in the theater is just crying. Like in both theaters that I went to, like especially in the first one, because there was like a lot of like actual like Marvel fans like going crazy. Like you could literally hear people sobbing. I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like I don't think I've ever been in a theater where people were crying as hard, or really even crying in general. Like I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Like this guy Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man for over a decade. We got to know him as Iron Man and all his little, you know, quirks and all that. Now he sacrificed himself for everyone else. He can finally rest. He leaves behind Pepper Potts and his daughter Morgan, named after J.P. Morgan. Yeah, everyone goes to his. A lot of people go to his funeral. It's very sad. Then there's kind of like a little side, or like not like an epilogue, I guess. And then Captain America's gonna return the stones to where they belong, because he has to fix the original timeline. So he's like, I'm gonna go fix the stones. He's gonna go give back Mjolnir to the other Thor, because they took it, so they gotta give it back. And Hulk's like, okay, I'm gonna send you to the portal. You're gonna come back through the portal, and we're gonna be done. And he says bye to Bucky. Bucky's like, I'm gonna miss you, man. And you're like, I kind of knew at that point. I was like, oh shit, like I think I know what's gonna happen. So he goes into the portal, and he doesn't come back. And you're like, what? Like what? And then, you know, Falcon's like screaming at them, like, get him back, get him back. And then Bucky's like, hey, look, there's like an old man on the bench, just around by the lake. And it's Captain, old man Captain. And you're like, oh man, what the hell? And yeah, he lived his life that he always wanted. He was with Peggy Carter. He finally got his girl. He's like, I had my life. It was good. And he basically gives the Captain America name to Falcon. And I kind of figured that, because that's what happens in the comics. And yeah, Falcon's just like, oh man, oh shit. Very heartfelt and sad, you know. Captain's just like, yeah, I'm done. He's old. He's about to, you know, go to the great beyond. And yeah, that's about it. The movie ends with Captain America getting to finally get the dance that he always wanted with Peggy Carter since the first Captain America movie. And I think that was very sweet. It was very nice. And if you really want to know, there is no end credit scene. There's no nothing, which I think is fine. This movie was such a culmination of everything, you know, like they tied all the knots together, that there didn't need to be any end credit scene, you know. And the last thing you hear is, or like you see two things, or you see and you hear things. So once all the credits roll, it's just the Marvel logo, and you hear this metal clanging, like ding, 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 and that's the sound of Iron Man, Tony Stark, pounding the first Mark 1, the first suit, and the first Iron Man, which was the first movie that started everything, you know. So that's kind of like just symbolically representing that, hey, this part of the story is done, you know, like back to the beginning and to the end. And it was really nice. I was like, at first I was like, what is that sound? But then one of my friends was like, oh, that's Tony like banging the first Mark 1 in the cave. I was like, oh shit, that's right. So overall, this movie was fucking amazing. I really loved it. The Dark Knight is still my favorite movie of all time, but this one is just, it's really incredible. So it gets easily, out of the RevLimiter of 10,000, it gets a 9,500 out of 10,000. I went on for way too long. This is a really long RevLimiter. If you watched the whole thing, thank you. If you're up to this point still, let me know what you thought about the movie. I know I kind of just rambled, but that's kind of how it goes with a movie like this. There's just so much to talk about. This was such a good movie, man. Like, I cannot wait for Marvel to release the 22 box collection of all the movies, because I am going to buy that. I don't give a fuck how much it costs. If it's $300, $400, so be it. This is like literally part of my childhood, my teenagehood, my young adulthood. This is a big part of my life, and I'll never forget it. Especially going to the first time, I'm gonna talk to my grandkids about it. Like, I saw Endgame in theaters, and that's gonna be pretty cool. So thank you for watching. Have a good day. Stay smart. Stay safe. This has been Area 14. This has been the RevLimiter, and as always, if you enjoyed what you saw, write, like, and hit a comment. And yeah, that's it. Hasta luego. Bye.